still have not seen the Death Note Netflix. So
well, neither, but I never really cared.
I mean, I kind of want to see it, because there is general interest for me, and then the fact that,
everyone's hating it.
You know, it's oh, no, not really, because, like, I've heard some people just saying, like, if you look at it, not exactly as a...
Yeah, but I hate that reason. To me, that's bullshit. If you're saying, if you look at it, it's like if it wasn't fucking Death Note, then I'm like, what the...
I know, which is pretty bullshit, but, like, the thing is, it's like, the only way my parents would ever check out Death Note is probably this movie, so, like, that's why I'm kind of wish for something better. You're not going to watching it.
If you pretend Dragon Ball Evolution wasn't a battle shonen and Goku was like not a kid in the beginning, then you can buy it.
See, the thing that annoys me with this Death Note movie is it's just like I still haven't seen it, but like I think there's like plenty of ways you could have made this movie work.
Yeah, it's very little anime to it. Well, I guess some of the over-the-top scenes is what makes it anime, but for the most part, there's nothing significant about it. I mean, to me, the best way to describe whether a show's very anime-ish or not is by the cosplay. If the cosplay doesn't stick out too much, or anyone could play the character easily, then it's not really, in that outrageous take of the anime series. Because nothing really stands... I mean, the character that stands out the most in terms of visuals would be, the Shinigami Gods and L. But L mostly just because of the way he sits. That's basically it.
And from what I've heard, they did Ryuk pretty well in the movie.
Yeah, I only saw like a clip, which was from a trailer, and like, just hearing him voicing Ryuk is like already good enough. But I didn't get to see him with the makeup or anything, so I don't know what Ryuk actually looks like.
I mean, I've heard some people say he was like the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that would happen. I mean, he was the best part of the Japanese versions too.
Yeah, so I don't know. But there's like some, because even then, I don't think it had to follow the story of Death Note. Like, I think it could have been like an American spin-off with like
there's a lot of leeway when it comes to the elaborate planning of Death Note. You could just reinterpret certain like sting operations and all that.
Yeah, because like it totally did not have to be like it was telling you in the original. It could have been like its own.
Yeah, not like Gintama live action. I mean, oh great, we're gonna have to get the same mark for the third fucking time. Shit. Benny Sakura art, come on.
I mean, I heard the Gintama movie was doing well. Though.
Yeah, but
it was doing better than JoJo.
Yeah, it's doing good, but I just don't like the fact that it's hey, let's get the same fucking arc, because why not?
Yeah, I know that's kind of like frustrating, but at the same time, I'm wondering if they're really going to do a joke about it, considering it's Gintama.
Maybe. Or some extra scenes, or, just do something very different with it, I don't know. It'd be hilarious if they just cut to the anime after a certain point.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. The one thing, though, the one live-action movie I really want to see right now, and I know it's out, but I haven't heard anything about it, is the Polymar movie. That's the real movie I want to see right now.
Yeah.
I know for sure that one, they cannot fuck it up. They cannot. It's Japan, it's a tokusatsu movie, they cannot fuck it up. It'd be really, really hard to fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm also hoping Infinity Force doesn't fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I'm more concerned about the characters more than anything. It's like, I don't care about the visuals. Right now, it's like, I care about the characters. It's gonna be like Gatchaman crowds where, oh yeah, they have similar names but behave nothing like the actual character. Ugh.
Well, see, I don't really think, because the Gatchaman crowds is like a whole...
Yeah, I know it's a whole different thing, but still, because, I mean, you saw the designs of Casshan and Polymar. I'm just thinking... Yeah. No.
I mean, personality-wise, I mean, I think considering what the series is trying to do, they should hopefully remain intact. Because again, it's just superheroes teaming up with each other, and I mean, I haven't seen all the respective series, but I'm pretty sure personality-wise, they wouldn't really have to change much.
Yeah, I hope not.
Hopefully, like there wouldn't be a need for it.
I don't know if I see Polymar start like jamming out to like some some like punk rock or something of this, or grunge or something of the sort, then I'm like, oh no, that's not Polymer.
I know, it'd be funny though if they just make Polymer like an asshole the whole time. It's like, Polymer, stop beating up the guy. It's like, no, Polymer, stop.
He must be punished for justice.
Why did you throw him in lava? That was someone's brother. I don't give a shit. Polymer.
He was a villain.
If they keep that aspect of Polymer, I'm fine. Seems like, seriously though, in the anime, man, he just goes on these beatdowns. Like, dude, calm yourself.
You know something's wrong when Yo Yabuki tells someone to stop hurting him.
It's like, hey man, it's too far.
Yeah, man. Like, why'd you have to push him down the stairs and throw him into lava, Polymer? That's too much.
Like, jeez.
The stairs was good enough, Polymer. Stop it.
No, I still remember that episode where it's like this one henchman, he just wants to fight Polymer. He's like, oh yeah, you killed my brother. I'm like, that's some dark shit. Like, even the villain organization, they want to get revenge on you. Like, that's fucked up, man. Like, who's really the hero now?
And next he would get Joe's, like, Polymer. When he's beating up a new villain, it'd be like, Hurricane Polymer! Like, Monster Card! Monster Card! Monster Card! And then fucking Joe, like, no, Polymer, Yamete! Stop beating him up. Stop killing him.
Bully, man. Stop it.
Don't run over him, Polymer. Now he's paralyzed from the waist down.
See, that's another fucked up thing about Polymer. He basically can run you over.
Or stab you with a drill.
But see, that's another thing, though. Like, I'm wondering with Casshan, if he's just gonna look at Polymer, it's like, you remind me of my dog. That's how I get into it. It's like, did you just call me a dog, you bitch? He said fucking...
My dog can do better tricks than you. He can breathe fire. Can you do that? My dog came back from the dead. Can you do that?
Yeah, so we'll see how it all turns out. I'm hoping.
Well, yeah, because freaking Tech Command also has like the blue sidekick also because of the Pegasus robot.
No.
He doesn't transform, but you know it's still a big vehicle that he uses to fly on.
So we'll see how this Tatsunoko Avengers turns out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parallels between all the four, but then again, the ones I'm more concerned with the main characters are the villains themselves, or you know what the plot of the fucking story is.
Yeah, because I forgot, like, the whole reason that how they joined up together was, like... Because it seems like they're all coming from a different world, they're not all in the same world.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I guess makes sense, because it would be weird for Casshan, considering Casshan's whole backstory. I'm like,
You know, to me it'd be very dickish if they were brought back, if they're brought out of their worlds when everything is, like, peaceful. And then they just get pulled down. It's like, oh, it's like Casshan's like, oh, I finally defeated Breaking Boss. Whoop! Ah, fuck.
Well, then again, it would be worse, like if they're in the middle of fighting evil, and then they just disappear. Because especially in Casshan's case, because again,
he's the only one.
If Casshan doesn't do it, no one will. So if he's like transported out, their world is fucked. No one's gonna do shit. And by the time Casshan gets going to come back, it's going to be like a robot empire. Like, everyone's a robot.
Yeah, it's fucking Terminator world, man.
Skynet took over.
Breaking Net.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Bossnet, I don't fucking... Yeah, so anyways, hello, I'm the anime hero. I review anime so you can enjoy it. And here's my friend.
Yeah, Mr. Falcon Punch. 996.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about anime today, like usual, and we'll try to figure out what. The problem is that we've been like out of form for the past couple of weeks. We kind of lost track of what episodes were. Ever since My Hero Academia's dub was delayed, we just got lost with everything.
Yeah, Hero Academia, it's all your fault. God.
So now we're just trying to figure out like what shows we used to talk about. I mean, because with the reflection, we're just waiting for that to build a lot of episodes so we could just plow our way through it, like from at least a good chunk of the dub, and then maybe jump to sub if we need to. But right now we're just waiting.
Oh, okay, that's how we're going to do it. Because I saw the newest episode, which is...
Oh, well, I'm just waiting for like at least half of the dub to be released, because by that point, then the whole show should be completed, and I could just watch the rest sub if I have to.
Alright.
Yeah, so, I don't know, I'm just waiting and waiting. Meanwhile, with Hellgirl, I'm like delayed on that as well. I think I'm like 1 or 2 episodes behind, and Dragon Ball Super, I'm like 3 or 4 weeks behind now. I'm not sure anymore. In contrast, I'm actually caught up to One Piece now.
Oh, well that's... Yeah. Or like the manga or just the anime?
Both.
Oh, okay.
I did both, but now it's like, shit. Now it's the weekly waiting game. Oy.
Yeah, see, I know, that's what like kind of scared me when I was catching back up with One Piece. I'm like... Because, like, for me personally, like, when you catch up with a Shonen series, like, your interest in it kind of goes down compared to, like, when you're, like...
My interest dies when I catch up to a monthly seinen. That's what happens to me for the past few years.
No, well, yeah, that's true. That is true. That's really hard to, like, come back on.
The only
Especially
one...
if it's like seinen, it's like, oh, yeah, hiatus. Oh.
Yeah, the only one that has the opportunity of getting back momentum with me is Dorehedoro, but that's just because I have to read everything from scratch just to know what's going on right now.
I mean, I still keep myself in the loop about it, but, like, I don't know, these chapters here.
I forgot which volume that I recently purchased that was, like, a couple of months back. But one of the 20s, one of the most recent ones, that volume is ridiculously thick. It's thicker than any of the other volumes. I'm just wondering, like, holy shit, and like, this manga was supposed to end, like, 2 or 3 years ago.
See, like, I think that volume was, like, around the time where she's like, wait, I have more ideas, I can't end this yet.
It was like, is she, like, their moneymaker for that comic that she's working for?
It's hard to say, because even then, if she's the moneymaker, it's not like they're making that much money.
Yeah. It's a very cult hit following.
Yeah.
Netflix anime one day. I don't know.
Let me see. What magazine is Dorehedoro in?
Something. I think it was something icky. I'm not sure.
Right. Actually, no. Oh yeah, I remember. I think it changed magazines. Let's see. Let me check what else they've done. Yeah, looking through it, I recognize nothing. But I think Dorehedoro is like the most violent, because everything else looks like a slice of life or romance. So Dorehedoro is definitely the most different.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Dorehedoro. Oh, actually, that's one thing that we should be mentioning, some anime news stuff, and then we'll talk about the anime episodes that we watched recently, because we're behind on Lupin. We're behind, and I guess we could start talking about JoJo as a regular thing now.
That's true.
Yeah,
I saw the Goemon episode yesterday.
Uh-huh. Well,
it was weird now after spraying blood. I'm like, where is the blood now?
Yeah, there's like no...
have some, but like...
Yeah, but it's like so watered down. Well, the thing is, I was comparing it to the Japanese, but I'm not sure if the Japanese episodes are online or like from the actual home video releases or TV version, because I was looking at the blood, it's very brownish rather than like a bright red. So yeah, once again, I don't know whether it's
watching it
intentional or not.
Like it was more violent before.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's intentionally colored that way or there is a redder version out there. I'm not sure. Especially with the whole, like, oh yeah, on the subject of news, we'll start with that piece of Lupin, because I know someone, I think in Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, I forgot who, someone asked me, like, what were my opinions of the whole Lupin Discotheque Blue Jacket release, And I don't have the article with me, but I do remember a good chunk of it. So, okay, first piece of anime news relating to Lupin is that they have announced the licensing of Gold of Babylon, which will be next year. That's a movie, by the way. The only Pink Jacket movie. And the second thing was the release date for the Red Jacket Part 2, which will be... I forgot how many episodes, but the point is that it should be the remainder of the dub. I don't know if there's going to be more to it, or maybe the third set. So that's later. But the biggest concern for a lot of people was the home video release of Part 4, Italian Adventure, because it has to do the thing where they have to split the English dub and the Japanese dub into two separate releases. All because of the soundtrack. And something to do with TMS, because they seem to be kind of dickish when it comes to international releases with Lupin the Third, or at least with Part 4 especially. Specifically, I mean.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with that.
I don't know. It's something to do with TMS, because I remember that they have the final say for everything, because a year ago, I think, like I guess a year from now, I don't remember my calendar, because when they were going to release Sonic X for home video in the US version, they were going to change the cover to resemble the Japanese Sonic the Hedgehog. I forgot which game cover, but the point is it's the one with the white, green, red design. People know what I'm talking about. But they were changing the Sonic X cover to resemble that, but TMS didn't let that happen, so they had to go back to the more generic-looking blue blocks for DVD cover.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, yeah, they didn't let us do it. So I guess it's the same, because I remember dynamic planning, which is, nothing to do with TMS, but they said it's the same thing when it came to releasing the English name for Shin Mazinger Z on DVD. They had to change it to Mazinger Z the Impact Edition, or something along those lines. I forgot the actual wording of it, but it had to be called that, because they had the final say. So TMS in this case was like, yeah, no, you're gonna release them in both separate packages rather than, making it like the Dragon Ball Z Orange Bricks, where you could have the option to listen either to the Bruce Falconer or the Kikuchi score. So, yeah, if you want the English dub, you have to stick to the Italian OST. And if you want the Japanese music of Yuji Ono, you have to buy the Japanese release, which should come out at some point, which, I don't know, I'm like so-so about it. It would be better if we had the option to listen to both. But their defense, I guess, they were saying that the audio clips wouldn't match with the picture, and I'm assuming so that makes me wonder if they're being honest about it, or they're just kind of BSing us, because there is some slight animation footage when it came to censorship with the Italian version, and they changed it when it aired in Japan. Because the next episode that's supposed to air will give that verification, depending on what they show on TV. Because the next episode is going to be the Fujiko and Rebecca one, where they're selling that love wine. And in the Italian version, the wine had a more like classy look, because it had like a heart and like a rose. But in the Japanese version, it has like a girl with a pig outfit, so it was like much more raunchy. So depending what image appears on TV, that will verify if we're gonna get the Italian illustrations, because the Italian release also had like a little pieces of choppy animation in some areas. Basically, it's that, like, oh, TV area looks like so-so, then BluRay release, it makes corrections. So I don't know if it's gonna be that case until that episode pops up. Because I am comparing a little bit of the episodes compared to this Japanese, and just to see how many songs get played. Because I remember the Goemon theme, the Italian version, popped up 3 times in that episode. But to be fair, in the Japanese, that song popped up twice. And in one scene, there was no music at all in the Japanese. But so yeah, it's one of those like comparing contrast sort of things that I don't really have time to check every single episode and compare every single scene of like what has the better sound. But I am annoyed by one little thing from the from this Italian version, is that the credits theme song plays too much within the actual episodes.
Oh.
That like within the episodes, it plays a little too much already.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's that piece of news. We were talking about Infinity Force earlier, And some of the most random ass news popped out for that series.
Yeah, it's getting a movie.
Yeah, but the show hasn't even premiered yet.
I guess Tatsunoko's really planning for that one.
I don't know. I'm just kind of wondering, hoping that it's not an Italian game scenario where they just, take episode footage and just slap it into a movie.
Yeah, that'd be pretty annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I kind of got scared when that piece of news came up because, I thought it was like a bait and switch. It was like, oh yeah, it was going to be a TV series, now it's just a movie. That's why I thought the piece of news was going to signalize, but
something like the Cyborg 009 and the Devilman anime that didn't happen.
Yeah. Like ever since that, I've been scarred.
You lying to me?
You lied to me. Tatsunoko. Don't play me like this. But yeah, so it's going to be a movie. We didn't really get much detail, so
yeah, they just said like, "Oh, movie's happening." That's it.
Is it going to be like a prequel movie to the whole thing? Is it?
No, but it comes out next year, so the show already premiered by then. So
yeah, but they could have done like something with the villain, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, then
I've seen some anime movies like, oh yeah, this movie takes place between episodes 1 and 5. Something.
Yeah. And then there's some movies that, it's kind of impossible to make it fit. Because, like the Grande Soro Film Gold movie, the only way that can fit if it takes place after Big Mom, assuming there was some moments where they go to Wano and they go somewhere else.
Yeah.
If the whole group gets back together, but I'm like, it doesn't... But at this rate, this doesn't seem to fit into continuity at all.
Right. See, I still haven't seen Film Gold yet, because I'm still working on my other One Piece movie reviews. Hopefully one will be out today or tomorrow. But yeah, I think One Piece has done a somewhat good job of trying to keep a lot, because a lot of these movies, you can kind of fit them into continuity, or because in One Piece all they do is just sail island to island. So
yeah, as long as it's the middle of their destination.
Yeah. Just take a side break. And then I think movies 10 and 11, Film Z and Strong World are actually confirmed canon. Because Oda was involved in everything.
And the only other piece of news that I can remember, which I guess I'll have to check my Twitter, is that new Baki the Grappler's actually been pushed back till 2018. Yeah, so back in 2016 they said oh yeah, anime in 2017. Nope. Gotta wait a whole fucking year. And it's
But, I guess it was kind of obvious, because, 2017 is almost over. We still have not had, a proper, update about the anime. Nothing for the fall season, so we won't miss the fall season. So unless they're going to do winter season, but still, the amount we've heard is so little, it's just, it was it felt like Blue Jacket again. I'm like, when am I going to hear about this? I just have, a couple pictures, the date, and, a little video. That's all I have.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole that no one, properly uploaded anywhere, as far as I'm concerned, because there was one point that the full OAD is actually an interview with the author, and then the last few minutes are just nothing but a trailer, basically, for the show. But everyone just puts, the trailer portion, and no one bothered to sub the actual interview. Because that'd be... Yeah, I mean, because that could be interesting, guys. Come on. But,
no, Igaki's mindset.
Yeah, what is he thinking?
Muscles!
Is Kinnikuman his favorite Choji? Because it's all muscles. Does he watch OKKO for Mr. Gar? Is he a fan of Toriko characters? I don't know. Does he like, Tetsuo Ara's artwork or not?
He's burning questions.
Yeah. Is Joe his favorite?
What is his favorite muscle? What is his favorite muscle?
Yeah, his favorite muscle.
So yes, I like my right bicep.
What gave him this obsession? What gave him this obsession for muscles?
Short shorts.
Yeah.
They still remember that trailer. The only thing he likes more than like fighting is short. Something like that.
Yeah, Baki the Grappler. But yeah. So okay, it's gonna premiere on Netflix, which should be a good thing because it should be uncensored. Because we got Cyborg 009 versus Devilman, that was uncensored as fuck. The Ganso, uncensored. The, what's another thing that was kind of, Castlevania, that thing was uncensored too. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, if you air on Netflix, you don't have to worry on, like, censors. Which again, that is why, like, I think Devilman Crybaby is good that's on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because even again, like, with Devilman Crybaby, like, in the posters already, you can see, like, Siren's nipples, and the trailers, there's bloodshed. I think it's pretty safe to assume if you're on Netflix, you're safe from censors.
Yeah, so the anime is going to premiere in Japan first on Netflix, but we will get it to, other region Netflixes. So basically, it means that, there's going to be a big delay because on the actual article, it stated, you know what, let me just open the Twitter thing, because, let me scroll down, because I know I have it there a little, there we go. Alright, let me read the article. Because it gave specific dates and when it will come out. Alright, here we go. Summer 2018 inside Japan. Fall 2018 outside of Japan. And
yeah, see, like, that whole season's delay.
Yeah, and it's going to be 26 episodes, but using Little Witch Academia as an example, we don't know if only the first 13 will be available first via, sub-dub format, and then you have to wait another 13 for the rest.
But I think it will be that way, because if it's going to be 26 episodes and it airs in the summer, it won't be finished by the fall, since that's like 2 seasons worth of content, so... Because the Japanese version won't be finished by then, so... we'd probably do like that half and half waiting.
Yeah.
Which is going to be weird because like I watched Baki, like all of Baki dubbed, so I'm really just like watching it subbed now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it'll be a different cast in Japanese also. But then again, knowing Netflix with their dubs as well, it could just be someone different cast entirely.
Because like I don't even know I don't think Yujiro's actor did much, did he?
No, he didn't do that much either. He was only like in a little bit of like early
fun.
fun.
I know the guy that does Baki is like.
Yeah, he still works.
Actually, yeah, he's Meowth, which I found really strange. But yeah, he's Meowth nowadays, so he's definitely still in the business.
Yeah. And let's see, what was I looking for? Yeah, I forgot to mention it's gonna be 26 episodes long, so that's a good length for the first arc, but I'm kind of hoping they cover a little more than just the whole prisoner section, because I want to see the Yujiro Chinese martial arts tournament section, and then, for part 3, Son of Ogre, so we could see the whole Pickle storyline and the, the fight against Yujiro.
Yeah, like, I'm hoping if it does well, like, it'll just adapt Baki. Like, maybe just all of New Grappler and maybe Son of Ogre.
Yeah, make it the yearly Baki. Because because I don't know what else TMS is doing besides Detective Conan and the occasion and the yearly Lupin.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe Baki would be a good thing to focus on.
There's these new pictures for Saint Seiya Saintia Show, which is the girl version of Saint Seiya. So yeah, we mentioned this in the previous podcast where there's going to be 2 Saint Seiya series going on, which is like, oh, okay.
Yeah, one is a CG retelling, and the other one is like
it's supposed to be like one of those. It's a mid-quote arc. It takes place in the middle of of something. So it's like I'll just read the description. Oh, I didn't even read this part. 7 Seas Entertainment licensed a manga.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah,
that was like when they were like releasing new. Like, oh yeah, we got Devilman, we got Captain Harlock. Yeah.
I totally missed that. Well, here's a description. In the wake of a space-wide civil war instigated by Saga, the Gemini Gold Saint, a new team of saints comes together with the goal of protecting their goddess Athena. The first all-woman team of armored warriors powered by the Zodiac will use their cunning, strength, and compassion to defend their worlds and oppose their very destinies. The manga is set immediately after the main storyline Sanctuary arc, After the defeat of Gemini Saga on the original Saint Seiya, but before the Poseidon arc. However, whereas the original manga followed a boy named Seiya and the other saints who fight to protect the goddess Athena, the new series follows a female Saintia named Shou, who fights evil deities to protect Athena. But I just love how it says they'll use their cunning, strength, and compassion. I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure there's another strength there. Another attractive one. Well, then again...
Wait, so, like, as someone who hasn't seen that much Saint Seiya, like...
basically, after actually, I kind of interrupted you there, so what was the full question, actually?
Oh, I was going to say, like, as someone who hasn't seen Saint Seiya, like, would the show be, like, accessible, or, like, no?
Well, the thing is, it kind of takes place after, like, the best arc of the show.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I don't know. Because then again, it's going to be kind of difficult because, like, this is, like, the only time you're going to be able to follow these girl characters because they're not in the original show. And or any of the other spin-offs. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's sort of like Legends of the Dark King when you have Sogo and Reina. They're not, part of the original North Star canon. So, for a prequel, that kind of contradicts things.
I guess we'll just have to, like,
wait
and see when it comes out.
I'm kind of hoping that it should look really hoping that it looks way better than Soul of Gold, because when that aired, oh boy, there were some scenes that didn't finish.
Oh, right, still Toei, huh?
Yeah, because that was when Toei was slacking a lot, like those years.
I mean, lately I think they've gotten slightly better. I mean,
especially with
One Piece, but like
One Piece has been like definitely better, especially when Tiger Man's Double just excelled so much, and I'm just kind of wondering if like maybe they spoiled us a little bit with Tiger Man's Double.
I mean, like, not that many people watched it, which is sad.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of their time was going.
It's like, it's when Toei's at its best. It's like, no one really saw
it. Like, something that's not pure that gets that love and attention. Okay, cool.
Well, then again, maybe it's because the character designer worked on Precure. Maybe that's why. It's like, we gotta make it appeal to his designs.
I don't know, the Precure guys, man.
This is Saint Seiya, so it should be like a bigger thing, especially when they got like two countries outside of Japan to cater to. We got Mexico and Italy. What about America? They don't care about us. They don't care about Saint Seiya. They only know it as Knights of the Zodiac.
And even then, those people are very select few.
Yeah, that's why whenever you go to Saint Seiya video, or you'll see Spanish comments all the time.
So
maybe Italian too, but for the most part, it's mostly Spanish. Or that one thing you said in the other podcast. Well, I don't remember the first question, but I remember the response to that comment, which was like, yes, Mexico is still a thing.
Oh, yeah. They're like, this is an old series, no one really cares about it. And there was like this one comment that followed up that's like, excuse me, Mexico, this is like a very popular thing, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, I think it was something on the lines like, yeah, Mexico is still a thing, so... It's like, give it more to them. Give it all to them. Because I'm pretty sure every new Saint Seiya show premieres there first, rather than, elsewhere. It's like, why do Mexicanos love it? I don't know. Maybe it's because of Seiya, since he looks like, he's supposed to be Japanese who was raised in Greece, but he looks very Mexicano in a way when it comes to racial profiling with the whole, darker brown skin and the brunette hairstyle. So, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, it depends. It was just also maybe the way it was like localized. Probably was like better.
Yeah.
That's how Dragon Ball Z became a thing in America.
Yeah, because you gotta grab it the moment they're like within a year or two of their premiere. Because if you don't get it within that time frame, it's not gonna get nowhere near as much attention.
Like, you gotta get it when it's hot, and then you gotta market the shit out of it. That's how you become like a cult.
Yeah, because every company needs their own battle shonen to license to succeed. Because too bad we're running out of those.
Yeah. that's true. Because like, I've been seeing a lot of like discussion and topic videos just saying like, is there such thing as a big three anymore? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of. But even then, when we're still using big three for the longest time, like, was it really a big three? Because like Bleach kind of fell off, so it was really just One Piece and Naruto. And then like I think you probably could say like for a while Toriko was part of the big three, but then that ended. And then, Naruto's ended. One Piece is still there, so it's just like, the only ones I could think of are like One Piece, Hero Academia, and then like, maybe Black Clover, but like, I don't really know.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, there's not that much competition, so it sort of like gains the spot by default.
Yeah. I think like, we need time for the shonen landscape to actually like, properly evolve and change before we could have like, an official, big three.
Yeah.
Because, like, Hero Academia, I think, it's over 100 chapters right now.
Yeah, Black Clover is the same.
It's a little bit too new to strike that, the cult sensation of, like...
It's too short because because the anime first off next year will be almost caught up.
Yeah. Because, like, the thing with Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, these are all series that, like, people's childhoods were, like, from. They grew up along the series. Hero Academia is still too new to actually have that.
Is it even 5 years old?
No one really grew up with Hero
Academia. Because I'm gonna check that right. Let me see how old are you, My Hero Academia? How old are you? Are you at least 5 years old? No, you were 2014, so you're barely 3.
Yeah, so
you just turned 3 years old, like a couple of months back.
So yeah, it doesn't have that same impact as like, oh yeah, I grew up alongside this series. It's like it's been a couple years, and really then it only started getting attention after the anime. The anime was like what, last year?
Yeah, it was 2016.
Yeah, so there you go. There's not much to really like grab onto. Again, like I think if we give it like 5 more years, let it grow, let it breathe. Hopefully, the anime becomes more consistent. But see, that's also another thing. Hero Academia, it's like it comes out in bursts. It's not like an actual proper long-running anime.
Yeah, there hasn't been any of that anymore. Gintama was Gintama was like one of the last ones to do that, but even then it comes back like in small packages.
Like I think the proper one that did that was like Hunter x Hunter, but that was like 2011.
Yeah, and that was a reboot as well.
Yeah, and because like that was like what 100 episodes for Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, it was more than 100. I'll check. 2011. How many do you have? How many do you have? You had 148.
Which is actually pretty surprising when you think about it, because it's Madhouse. They don't normally do series that long.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it too well, but I think it was pretty consistent with animation and whatnot. So.
Yeah, it was. But the only thing I do remember that I don't want to remember is the opening. Never changed. Never fucking changed.
It changed slightly. It was like you could fly again, so you could smile again.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's like, oh boy, the Shaman Anarch. I can smile again. There's these giant fucking monsters like eating people's brains and all the psychological terror. But I'll smile again. It's cool.
Yeah. Kid show.
Yeah, Hunter. It's for the kids.
Yeah, because I remember people were worried as hell when that first came out. Cause it was more tame in the beginning, then by Yorkanu it started to get bloodier and more violent as it kept going.
And everyone like shut up and they're like, oh okay,
yeah, then people forgot about the original one altogether. It's like there was an original show. Yeah, there was. Like Fullmetal Alchemist, but no one remembers that show anymore.
Yeah. See, which is kind of sad because the original did have a lot to like. I especially love the music, like that one song with the harmonica in the original.
Wait, are we talking Full Metal or Hunter?
Hunter.
Oh, okay, because I wasn't sure anymore. It's like, which one? What?
No, No,
Which music
really
are we
like
talking about?
I really like that song.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I kind of like Gon's original voice actress. But
Naruto? Well.
obviously that... Yeah. But obviously we can't have that anymore.
Yeah. And
I
Naruto's
don't know,
still
maybe
going.
we could. Because, like, Akira Kamiya did Kenshiro, Kinnikuman, Man, and Real Saibo. They're all, like, 3 shonen leads. So, like... Yeah... I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah. So, on Twitter page, this is just all some minor stuff. I posted the links to the new short of Mazinger Z movie, which is another short trailer, it's 30 seconds. You only see, like, face shots of some characters, and there was one character I did not two characters I did not recognize in there. So, and there were close-ups, so I couldn't really, get a good idea who they were, and then, there was another trailer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there was another trailer release for, DC, Justice League versus the Eagle Talon. I forgot the actual title. But yeah, it's actually animated by Studio Gonzo in at least the DC stuff. That part is animated by them. The other half is probably still Frogman and his crew and his team, if he has a team, I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's kind of surprised me. So I was like, oh, Gonzo's still relevant. I never knew that.
I mean, they've been coming out with, like, a couple animes. Like, there's Akiba Strip and the recent, like, 18IF, or whatever that one's called. Like, they've been doing anime series, but, they obviously haven't really rekindled that, fire from before.
Oh yeah, there's also been a trailer release for Inuyashiki.
Oh, yeah, that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was exciting. Because what surprised me was the facial expressions with the CGI, and then once again it's like, what? For some reason, Gen's CG is better than the Berserk ones, but oh well. Yeah, from one dark horse to the other.
It's a different studio.
Yeah, that's true. But I said it before, but it just really sucks that the Dark Horse series that is not beloved by that much people gets the better animation, yet the one that people want to see the most gets the crappy animation. Oh boy.
Yeah, I know, that's really strange, and I'm like, why would you give Berserk to, like, a studio that most likely... Oh, and then again, we're retreading that whole conversation.
That was...
Let's just drop that.
Like, no, that's enough. It's what's been is already done. It's like, putting water into a already filled fucking barrel. It's spilling, it's leaking all over the floor.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I should take that back a bit. That's not a joke of any sort to the the current floods that's going on in in Houston and certain places. So yeah, let me take that back.
Actually, yeah, dude, I meant to ask you. You're in Texas.
Yeah, but
fine with you?
Absolutely nothing happened where from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how because I was expecting like rain and it rained for like 5 minutes, but it was like such little rain too. It was never like a big deal. Like it would just rain like every now and then, like maybe 3 or 4 times, but it was nothing big at all. Yet in the opposite end of Texas, which is way high up, that's the place that suffered the most. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm grateful that nothing happened over here.
Okay, that's good because like my best friend and one of our family friends, they live in Texas too, but they're like. I think my best friend, he's like 2 hours away from Houston, but he was saying that he's just got like rain showers and that was it. But I was getting kind of worried. A lot of people I know there in Texas.
Oh yeah, the biggest piece of news, and it could probably wrap up the news section.
Oh, okay.
There's a certain game that's being made for 2018, the PlayStation 4. A certain manly character is gonna appear in it. Yeah. Do you know what it is, Falcon?
Fist of the North Star, boy!
No, I was talking about Senran Kagura, gosh.
No, that's the Switch, and you can feel the boobs on it, so you can't do that on PS4. I know my shit.
Yeah, but seriously, Fist of North Star, is gonna be done by the people who make the Yakuza games, which now gives me more of a reason, because certain people are telling me, hey, Hero, check out Yakuza, you will really like it, and I'm just like, whatever, man. And then now I'm like, shit. Now I have to.
I've been really wanting to play them, because I've heard, plenty of great things about them, and they look really fun. It's just, I have not seen them available. I was really excited, when Yakuza 0 came out. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get that one. But it never came to where I live. It was never released in stores. I'm like, fuck. I'm not sure if it was, an online release then. I haven't really checked that. But yeah, this North Star game, though. Holy fuck. Maybe this is the North Star game we wanted all this time and never got.
Yeah. I mean, because I never played any of the Ken's Rage games, but not a single one of them really succeeded too much when it came to, getting new people.
I played Ken's Rage 1, and it was alright. My problem with these anime games are like that is they hook you in because you're a fan and you recognize the characters and all that, but they become really repetitive fast, and you're just running through these big empty landscapes, and then enemies come at you, you beat the shit out of them, and you move on.
Yeah, especially doesn't help with his North Star setting is very post-apocalyptic, so not the most fascinating of locations.
It's like One Piece or the Berserk games are okay, you got these fantasy landscapes and whatnot. It's oh yeah, look, desert, broken buildings.
Yeah.
Brown.
Mm-hmm. A lot of desert. Oh, there's more ground over there. More sand. Oh, that one has a little more sand than the other level. Yeah. And then it doesn't help that to me, the games always look kind of I feel like the characters and the bandits always kind of blended in with the background a little too much. Because something about it just looked kind of grayish and a little blurry in some areas.
Yeah. I can kind of see. Because especially, I wasn't sure if it was just Ken Raid's Run, because I know Ken's Rage 2 kind of improved on a lot of things.
Yeah, I've seen stuff, especially story mode, because they went all out with the... Well, I say all out, but at the same time, some of the cutscenes were pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really?
That's why I'm really excited for this one. This one seems like you'll probably get some...
Yeah, the proper cutscenes all the way through. And then, because what surprised me the most, I'm pretty sure what stood out the most in the trailer for everybody, because they did show a fight against Shin and Rei and then the Devil Reverse, but the most iconic thing was just seeing Kenshiro walks into a bar.
Yep.
And shit happened.
Man, he becomes a fucking bartender, man.
Yeah, no, just because at first I really thought it was Kazumi Kenshiro that was in there. I was like, "Holy shit, Kazumi's here!" But no, it was actually just Ken in a suit.
See, I was getting weirded out because when I saw that, I didn't recognize it was Kenshiro at first because he was in the suit, and so I actually thought it was a literal crossover between Yakuza and Fist of North Star. So I thought that was one of the Yakuza characters. I'm like, oh, okay, so you can play as both North Star and Yakuza characters. And then I realized, oh shit, that's Kenshiro. Oh,
yeah, because that's one thing the original Anime News Network article made an error. They described it as a crossover, but it's not, apparently.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a crossover of studios, but not...
Yeah, because the reason of that confusion, because there is one trailer that it starts off as Yakuza, then by the end of it, it just turns into a slight crossover because the character turns into Kenshiro, and then the background of the modern Japan just transforms into a post-apocalyptic setting.
Maybe they tie in Yakuza with North Star.
Yeah, it took place.
One of Kenshiro's early ancestors was Yakuza in Japan.
I don't know. I was kind of hoping it was a bit of a crossover just to see the Fist of North Star characters in a modern setting, because maybe you could see Raoh as this big time Yakuza.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that would have been a good excuse for a Fist of Blue Sky game.
Oh, that is true. Maybe that could be the next thing, because I also found out that apparently in October there's going to be a new chapter for Blue Sky.
Oh.
Yeah, and then they also released another news article for the Fist of North Star game which showed characters, and they gave a plot summary of what it's supposed to be about.
Oh, alright. didn't see that.
Yeah, that one came out today. Let me just look at it. But I gotta go back all the way to the beginning of the news. Here it is. Because there's also some Yakuza games. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 1, but it's a good year for them. Because they also show some character designs as well. But they also confirmed that Tetsuo Ohara is creating new designs for the game. But because of that, I'm not sure.
So that's a good sign.
Yeah, but I'm not sure they're gonna be replacing, previous characters, because there's one character that looks like Jaggy, but it's not Jaggy, and there's another one that looks like Raoul, but it's not. It's not him. So yeah, because there's one guy called Kiyo and Jagure.
Sure.
So I don't know if I'm missing Yakuza reference there or not. So I'm lost. But anyways, the plot summary is at the very bottom. In the game story, Kensho learns that... Oh, actually, I don't know whether I should give a spoiler warning to anyone who hasn't seen Vista North... Actually, yeah. Jump to the next part. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to mention this now. In the description, there's timestamps, so you can click on whatever part you want, because this next Vista North section is only about spoilers. Kensho learns that his beloved fiancée, Yuria, has died. Kensho hits rock bottom after learning of this devastating news, but one day he hears a rumor. Yuria is in fact alive. With hope in this rumor being the only thing keeping Kensho alive, he wanders through the wasteland and manages to reach the miraculous town called Eden.
Huh.
Yeah, so... Because the cutscenes did show, the story with Shin, and then I'm assuming that whole Shin portion should be the beginning of the game. And they did show Rei, so there should still be some parts of the story in there. But then again, I don't know. It depends what they want to do with it. Since the whole Yakuza plan, for all we know, that we could get, some different entire villain. But so far the game looks fun, because, I did hear the Yakuza games were known for being, over the top in certain places. Yeah, the only thing I didn't like about the trailer is that when you see Kensho fighting the bandits, that all the bandits were just staying still. They weren't, fighting back or running towards you or anything.
No, yeah, but, it's early game demo. So
well, I hope so.
Just gotta show it off. It doesn't come out till, next year. So.
Yeah, they don't even specify, when exactly next year either.
Yeah, that's how early development it is. For all we know, it's 2019.
Oh, God.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Because games get...
yeah, oh yeah, and also on
the
Twitter...
thing I like about this game...
Yeah, what was that?
I was going to say, the thing I like about this game, though, is that, so many times when we get anime games, they're just, these fighters, 3D fighters, or, these, warrior games, this one. But this one, though, is, an actual, proper action-adventure game series, which I'm glad that... So, we don't get too many of those. We usually get, it's either just a shitty fighting game that people only buy because, they're fans of it, or it's, Warriors game, and those, like I said earlier, they just burn you out really quickly. So this one, looks like it's a proper game. You got the people behind Yakuza behind it, and I've heard nothing but great things about that game franchise, so really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, because I'm really hoping this is the game to, just, relive that North Star spirit, because, this came out of fucking nowhere. The day when this came out, my Twitter was just full, about 3 to 5 people just telling me, hey, look at this game.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm hoping that it does get released in the US.
It should.
Because,
well, then again, the only game that I'm aware of was... Yeah, the only game I'm aware of was Otokujuku that didn't get over here.
Yeah, but I think that's because, there's just no Otokujuku in the US.
Yeah, no, the JoJo's got licensed. The more than likely, the Witch is gonna get picked up also, but...
Yeah. I think only the Ippo and Tokujuku didn't come out, which is weird because I think Ippo probably could have come out since the anime was dubbed.
No, the game that came out for Ippo was a Wii game. There was a Wii game. I think it was under the Fighting Spirit name. I think so, or maybe they changed the thing altogether. Well, I forgot what it was called, but I'm pretty sure the game came over here for the Nintendo Wii. But yeah, I don't know.
These days, I'm pretty sure though, if your anime is dubbed, most likely you should get some sort of game.
Okay, it was actually all right. It was called Victorious Boxers Revolution.
Okay.
And known as Hajime no Ippo in Japan and Power regions. The game is based on play. It hit North America in October 2007.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I guess I could have sworn there was one that came out for the PS3.
Yeah, that was a more recent thing, and that didn't get over here.
Yeah, just kind of sad, but.
Yeah, I think that about does it for the news portion. And now we're gonna jump into the anime that we can remember.